Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping by today. I am participating in Audrey Yeager's 14 Days of Summer Scrapping videos, and I'm day 11. I want to thank Audrey for inviting me to be part of this. It was a lot of fun to create this layout for this series, and I'm going to be scrapping these two rectangular photographs of Jordan laying on our Big Bertha tube. Probably, I'm guessing he was about 11 or so in this photograph, so quite a few years ago. I'm going to be using some of Paige Evans' Oh My Heart collection, and this is the paper that inspired me for the layout. This is paper number 13 from that collection, and I just love how it kind of looks like the rays of the sun, or kind of like a sunburst at the top there with those triangular shapes. So my inspiration was to use that as the top part. I took a yellow piece of glitter paper here and just cut out a circle with a punch as the sun, and I kind of thought maybe I would use a diagonal kind of justification for my photos here, but then I decided against it because I sort of thought that I would put my title where I'm showing you there, and then I wanted to put my journaling in those triangular ray shapes up at the top. So I'm going to take some more of the Paige Evans paper. I really like the color of this paper that I'm going to use here, just showing you my tape runner that I have been using lately, and really love that it's a dot runner, and so it's repositionable, which I like a lot. And so I'm just going to mount my photographs here beside each other on this paper, and the beauty of using all the papers from the same collection is, of course, they match up lovely. So you'll just see me just trimming this down a little bit using my ruler, just because it's quite a bit quicker to do that than bring my trimmer out, although I probably will bring my trimmer out here in a bit anyways. So I'm just kind of trying to decide what or how much extra paper I want around the photographs here as a mat. I'm going to just trim a little bit off here to begin with, but I end up taking more off afterwards and just trimming that up quite a bit more close to the actual photographs, which I actually left a white mat on. Now I'm going to use this really cute polka dot paper as well. It kind of almost reminds me of beach balls a little bit, and what I decided to do with it was take the pieces that are sort of already cut or around the edges and just use them as a little bit of trim along the top of my photographs. Now what I've done here is I've taken a piece of this acetate paper from my stash. This is from a summer collection from last summer, and I can't remember what it was. Maybe Dear Lizzie. I'm not 100% sure, but yes, what I really love about it is it's really basically has the same colors from Paige's collection. And so what I'm going to do is just measure, as you can see through that acetate onto the cardstock, onto the pattern paper, the shape of those triangles. I'm just going to trace them with a pencil, and then I'll just trim them up using my trimmer here so that they fill in some of those triangle shapes at the top of the paper. The reason why I wanted to do that was because I didn't want to journal in every single one of those spaces, and just by using this acetate paper, or this acetate, can't really call it paper, but this acetate sheet, is to just fill in some of those spaces with something that's kind of interesting. And I like how you can still see through it, you can still see the color of the paper behind, and it just adds a little bit of detail. So I've gone ahead and cut all of those shapes. I just showed you cutting the one so that you can see how I did that. Now what I did was I took those kind of like little beach ball shapes from that pattern paper, and I just fussy cut around them, and I'm going to use them at the top of my photo mat. Now I wanted to also use another color behind my photos, and so I'm going to use some yellow and some pink as layers behind my photos as well, just to bring in some of the other colors from from the Oh My Heart paper that I have as my base for this layout. So I'm just going to trim up this paper here a little bit, and I'm going to show you here in a second here how I changed this as well, but I wanted to just sort of like even run off the paper slightly on the right side there, and yeah, I just wanted to be really frugal with that pattern paper with those circles on it, because I really like it, and I didn't want to have to use too big of a chunk for this. So Now you can see how I've left the yellow sticking out on the one side on the left and down at the bottom, and the pink sticking out at the top and on the right, just so that you can see a little bit of the pink and a little bit of the yellow, and it's not just simply a stacked mat that's all the way around on all the sides. It just looks a little bit more interesting that way, I think. And so now I'm just going to take and make sure that I know where I want these little circles at the top of my photo, so that I get them stuck down here in the right spot. So I just took my pencil and I just made a little tick mark on that pink part of this pattern paper to make sure that I have this in the right spot. And I was really sad when I found out that my Tombow tape runner, that was the dot runner, was discontinued, but then I think it was Jennifer McGuire had recommended this one that I'm using now, and I really love it. So I know some of you have asked me in previous videos, how do you like that new tape runner? I actually really like it. It's basically the same thing as that Tombow dot runner was, and I really love it. Now I'm taking some paper issues, tissue paper, and I just wanted there to be a little pop of black behind my photographs or behind my mat. So I'm going to take that photo mat and I'm going to just stick it down to this this tissue paper. And I just really like that pattern and the little pop of black behind there. And all of the layers that I have my photo on, all of the different papers, are pretty subtle. There's nothing that's too busy. There's nothing too patterned. So this little pop of black with that houndstooth pattern on it will just provide just a nice little extra bit of interest on that photo mat. Now I'm going to take my vellum tape runner and I'm going to stick the acetate down. You can still see, actually you can still see that adhesive a little bit behind there, but I'm not too worried about it. I mean, this is going in an album. Nobody's going to be, you know, I guess analyzing where you can and can't see the adhesive on my layouts. So I just wanted to stick it down without it being too obvious, and I think that was achieved using the vellum tape runner. So I've got that stuck down now. I'm going to put my little circle there, my little glittery sun. And now what I did was I did all of my journaling on my computer and I cut that into strips. So I am going to adhere that down into those little areas where those little sun rays are at the top. So I'm just getting my mat stuck down to my tissue paper here, and now I am going to get that stuck down to the layout and start to do some embellishing and stick my journaling down. I'm just going to get that centered on there, and eventually I will clue into the fact that my tissue paper isn't quite straight at the bottom of my photo mat, and I will tuck that up into the behind the photo so that it's straight. And I'm going to just take my tape runner again. I'm going to just put enough adhesive to these little strips of journaling just to get them stuck down. And then I'll go back in later and put a little bit of liquid adhesive behind there so that they don't end up falling down into the bottom of the page protector later. And so I'm just trying to make these go on the same angle as the triangles are so that they don't look like they're not sort of in line with the lines on the top of the layout. And I had that in mind when I created the journaling on my computer. I knew that I would be limited as to how many lines of journaling I could have per triangle. So I made sure that I only, for each of these little sections, that I only had 3 lines for each. Now, what I'm going to be doing here for the journaling is that the title of the layout is going to be Rules of Paradise. And for each one of the different little sections, which I'm going to add a number to, I'm going to have kind of like little rules for having a great day at the lake. And just journaling here about things like, well, where we used to camp and how we used to go out and tube and spend the whole day out in the boat. And we made sure we had lots of sunscreen and lots of good snacks and that sort of thing so that we could spend the whole day out there. And we did consistently. We had, when the kids were little, we had a seasonal site. My husband and I bought a fifth wheel trailer when the kids were pretty small. And wow, we used that thing so much and we made so many great memories, that's for sure. And we really love to go to this one specific lake in northern Saskatchewan called Little Bear Lake. And it was just beautiful, like lovely big pine trees and quiet and a nice beach, and the lake was small and there weren't a ton of people, but it was just beautiful. And we had to drive a little farther to get there, and it didn't have quite as many services as some of the closer or more popular lakes, but it was perfect for us and we really loved it. And the kids have a lot of really great memories there, spent with us, and their grandparents used to go up there too, so it was really nice. Now I'm just showing you, this is Doodlebug Odds and Ends, and it's from the Fun in the Sun collection. I think this was from last summer, and a lot of the embellishing that I'm going to do here using the die cuts is from that collection, and they're so cute. Now these numbers that I'm going to use on here are from Paige's collection, and I'm just going to number the rules 1, 2, and 3, and so that each one of the little sections of journaling has a little number that's attached to it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this sun die cut, and I'm going to put that in the center of my little glittery sun there, and then I'm going to, just like I said, take some more little bits and pieces from that collection. So this is going to be really simple, really easy to do. There's nothing complicated here. I just took the different bits and pieces and created some interesting little layers at the corner, the one corner on the left of the photograph, just to make it look fun and jazz it up a little bit. So I'm just going to take a bunch of the bits and place them here. I end up using some foam tape on the palm tree just so that it's sticking up a little bit more, because you can see that it's on top of the photo mat, which is also raised a little bit up off the layout. So I'm going to put some foam adhesive just behind that to help it sit on the layout. I'm going to put a couple of little clouds on there and some sunglasses, and you can see I added that really cute little flamingo up at the top. And then I am going to just add some smaller Doodlebug alphas to spell out rules of, and so the title will be Rules of Paradise. This is just a little bottle of sunscreen that came off of I think it was an American Crafts chipboard sheet from last summer, and I realized that I am going to put this on here, I think upside down to begin with, but I end up changing that position of that little bottle a little bit later. So you can just see me here. I'm going to be adding those little alphas on there, and the layout is going to be finished. So this was so much fun to create, guys. I really had a great time, and I want to thank Audrey again for asking me to join in on this fun video series. I am going to leave a link to Audrey's channel in the description below my video, so make sure you check it out. And if you haven't already, although I'm sure you have. And yeah, so thanks so much for stopping by. I'm almost finished adding my alphas, and I do also have some still shots of the layout when this video has finished. Yeah. Lots of fun. I love these pictures of Jordan. They're so cute. He's you can see the picture on the right. He's kind of trying to squint his eyes a little bit, I think, because the sun was definitely shining brightly in this photograph. I love these alphas too from Doodlebug. I think these ones were from the Cream and Sugar collection. So thanks again, guys. Thanks so much, and have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time on my channel. Bye bye.